So let's do this in a time of disease and world financial crisis. I know you're all very eager to learn how I did my first game, which sold 5 copies. So I know. Uh, what can you do about it? It's just how I am. So Um, probably the way it's going to go is in the background, as it's already going. I'm gonna do the 3D promotion thing of a time lapse of it, and then talk about random stuff about the project when I don't have anything else to talk about. Well, this part of the process has been, talked about, and I talked about it like 10 times in my previous videos, how I project my images onto a 3D model. I even have a YouTube video which is called Project something something 3D something. It's in the channel. So that's what I'm doing here, just projecting my own concept into or onto the 3D. Yeah, so that's just basically you just give seizure to people with turning on and off the layer, and then hopefully they will send you a big amount of donations through the game. So this is what I'm doing here. And because nothing happens now, I'm just gonna start talking about the project, how it came to be, how I feel about this at the moment. So yeah, I think the idea came to me for Captain Calculator. Well, yes, for those who don't know, I made a game called Captain Calculator. It's available in Google Play Store and on iOS for everybody who wants to train their mind doing math problems, which is probably 0 people on this earth, but one can hope. So, yeah, in the game, basically math problems come and you just calculate them like 2 plus 2 equals 4, and then you hit 4, and then you punch the motherfucker in the face really hard. And that's it. That's the basic idea. It's much more fun than it's sounding right now. It's probably why it sold 4 copies so far, because I'm shitty at marketing. But there is always a new morning, a new day, and a new sun rises, and there are new opportunities for me to, sell this shit. But whatever, we are now concentrating on the making of witches. I was probably intoxicated in the beautiful city of Budapest, drinking some kind of something and smoking something, at the same time, because why not? That's the wisest thing you can do. And in the mixture of those substances, getting together in my veins and lungs, I was like, yo, I should make a game. At that time, I didn't really think about the fact that I don't know shit about programming or Unity or whatsoever. But the idea came that I should make a game about calculating things in your head. Because, yeah, there is a scene in X-Men, the original X-Men, with Wolverine and stuff like that, where we see the mutants, the school of the mutants, where Professor Xavier trains the gifted, and there is the scene where we see the academy for these gifted youngsters, and there's like a dude who can, lift the building, and then there is a dude who can turn invisible, and there is a dude who can run on water. What? It's just it's useless. Unless you want to start a relation, running on water is a useless thing. There is a guy who can turn into a big fireball and melt down the earth with his pure willpower, and you can run on water. Who the fuck needs that ability? Nobody wants to hire somebody in an army of mutants who can only do running on water, you know? What are you gonna do? Carry a message through the Atlantic Ocean to America? Or what? What's your purpose? And I was like, that must be pretty painful to get that gift, you know? You could have turned into somebody who can read minds, but no, you can run on water. And from that idea, I was like, how fucking useless can somebody be who can calculate really fast in his head? You know, this is superhuman in the professor of in the school of the gifted. For Professor Xavier is turning and showing all the people who is on the in the school, the lift building dude, and the guy who can turn invisible, and the mind reading guy and the Wolverine guy, and then he introduces you to somebody who can like do math problems in his head very, very quickly. And you're like, okay, we need that guy in our army against Magneto. This is our key to victory. In the meantime, I'm just, rotating the model around, painting, projection, painting, the usual. So that's where the idea came from. Let's do a game where you are that guy who can calculate really fast in his head. So that's Captain Calculator in a nutshell. And then I was like, okay, let's do this game and learn programming and stuff like that. So yeah, the programming part of it was, well, let's say educational, to say, because I had like the basic idea of what programming is and how to use it. Probably if I want to explain it in the terms of like art, or the equivalent of somebody in art as I was in programming, I had a pretty solid idea about how to grab a pencil and start moving it on the paper. And that's it. And imagine that translated into programming. So I kind of knew what variables were. And that's it. So that's the basic. But in this world of technology, in the world of the internet, where everybody has an experience, an opinion, and we all get rewarded for it, to put it online, you can learn anything from making a car to, cooking meth, whatever. It's all on the internet, and it's free. So I was like, okay, that's how I learned doing 3D in the first place. Just go into this magical place, clicky, ask questions, more clicky. Oh my God, who am I? What am I doing with my life? Oh my God. And then, after 10 years of that, you know how to, do 3D. So I was like, let's do the same with programming. It was so joyful. It was very good ride. So let's do it again, just like on a roller coaster. Yeah, let's do it again. So I do that again with programming, but this time I didn't cry as much in a fetal position. I just just learned. It's like the same kind of inner monologue, inner dialogue started happening as it did in 3D when I was learning 3D. It's like, oh, you're shit at this. There is somebody else who's much better than you are. Oh my God, why are you doing this? You suck. But since I already shook my hands with that devil, I could come over it really quickly. So programming was wasted none of the time on self-hate and focused only on learning. So that's a win right there, if you ask me. So anyway, I just used Google and Stack Overflow and shit like that. I came up with different questions like, okay, how do you spawn an enemy? That's me imitating typing on the keyboard. And then magically, voila, there is a dude who has a YouTube channel, followers, likes, naked pictures online, who just so happens to tell you how the fuck you can spawn enemies in Unity. And if you ask the right questions, there will be the right answers on the internet, especially with programming, because those guys really like to, you know, talk about themselves, like me. Anyway, so I knew that these are my people. So whatever. So programming. Yeah, I'm probably gonna cut some, you know, early prototype here, just so you can feel the weight of how shitty it was in the beginning. Like, ooh, from this to that. Anyway, so there were many challenges with programming, but you know, I feel like it's all the same underneath programming, art, sports, whatever. At some point, you conquer the same demons. You have to overcome yourself, overcome those demons, overcome the negative self speech, the self hate, the doubt that you don't want to do this, or you did it too much, the self exhaustion, yeah, and you burning out and everything. It's all the same. It's all the same in all disciplines. So once you you get fucked in one discipline, and you know how to feel to burn yourself out, how it feels when you don't know what to do, how it feels when you get lost, or when you don't get money for your work, or when you don't land a job. You know how to fail. You learn how to fail, and then you learn how to succeed. And then, you know, you can apply that knowledge to anything else. So that's what I think. These are my thoughts about life. Okay? Yeah. So that was programming in a nutshell. Then what happened? I think I started. Oh yeah, there was that terrible hidden elephant in that room, that I was an artist guy, not a programmer guy. And after that, when I had like a basic prototype and cubes, yeah, screen went black, totally fine, no need to worry. And after that, I was like, yo, the cubes are coming from left to right. They have a math problem above their head, and you can calculate them. Because at that time, these were only placeholder boxes that were floating in, and you can, you know, kill them. I'm just gonna barf real quick, just to, you know, keep up the tradition. And, you know, I arrived to the place where I was where I had to make art for the game. Which you might think that, oh, that's the easy part, Mickey. You are a 3D artist. You do art for a living, so probably doing art for the game was the easiest part. But no, sir, you're mistaken, because I was a 3D artist for sure, but I never, you know, concepted anything for myself. I, you know, did a few illustrations, but those don't need to be coherent. They don't need to have a similar style. You just do an illustration, shit it on the internet, and hope for the best. You don't need to make them coherent. You just say, I'm an artist in exploration phase. You don't need to, you know. But in a game, if everything looks, you know, not cohesive, then it's shit. So I never did that. So I felt a little pressure rising up. I was like, oh my god, I won't be able to do this. How I can come up with a universe for this game? Oh, here I'm cutting up I made a plane from all the 2D elements which I want to, you know, include in the 3D art, and I'm just cutting it up very roughly. If somebody who wants to employ me in the future, this is not how I usually do things, because as you can see, it's pretty hacky and it's not professional at all. So call me, my phone number is whatever. So yeah, don't do it. It's just for placeholder, which I'm doing here. Anyway, yeah, where was I? Something about style. Yeah, no, let's just drink water to to kill the awkwardness. Yeah, so cohesive style. I didn't have that at all. So, one time I was sitting here and, a friend messages you as they do, and they're like, yo, man, can you do this art for me? It takes for you 5 minutes, but, and yeah, can you do it? I was like, okay, let's do it because I really like this friend, and I felt the sudden urgent need to help her, spoiler alert, out. So I was like, yo, let's do it. Um, yeah, and I sit down and then did the usual. Oh, yeah, whatever. So I did the usual. Starting gathering references from the internet, like, oh, this guy does this and that guy does that. Oh, I should paint the sun like this, and I want to paint the mountains like this, and get a reference for the colors, for the shapes, for whatever, and then you have 15 different images, which looks great and amazing, and at the same time, together combined with all those 15 images, has 200 years of experience of different artists combined together, and then you start to paint your own shit, and then right next to it there are 15 complete illustrations which all look amazing, and then you start your own shit and you feel like, oh my god, this looks like shit, it's never going to be good, and etc. So I did that. I don't want to do that anymore. I felt like it's not healthy. I went for a walk because I went for, the skin guys who check your birthmark, whether you will die or not. So they checked my birthmarks, and I'm not gonna die. Yes, that's good news. And then when I was walking back to the office, I was like, maybe I will just not use any references. Fuck everybody. Fuck, everything. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna do me. Yeah, moving head from side to side. I'm just gonna paint the style I like, the way I like to paint. So I get back, I open up a new document, and I started painting with the workflow I had at the time. I'm gonna put some illustrations here from my Instagram, which shows the style that I had at that point. And I just started painting that image using that style. Uh, the way I built up the other images I was painting at that time. Just starting with black, and then put random colors on it, and start seeing shapes and stuff like that. And that's exactly how I did the painting for the friend. I was like, yo, let's do this. This is how I paint. This is how I like to work. This is, why she asked me, because she knew the paintings and the style I had. So she probably knew what to expect from me if she asks for a painting. So I was like, okay, let's just accept what I do and how I do it, and just roll with it. And if in the end she doesn't like it, I don't give a fuck. This is what I can paint. But of course she liked it and everything. It's happy end, champagne, drugs, it's all good. And then when I did that, right after that, I realized that's what I'm gonna do with the game. I'm just not gonna give a fuck. There is no point on giving too much pressure on a style or whatever. Just start doing it. Just start painting it, and it will turn out the way it turns out. And just don't give a fuck about the outcome at all. Just enjoy the process. Have fun for it. Have fun during the making, and that's basically it. Just find the fun, chase the fun. Yeah, and that's how the style came to be. I'm probably gonna include some, you know, drawings here because the process was like drawing first onto paper with a black pencil, the one you cannot erase with an eraser. So I was drawing on the paper with pencil. Let's go with pencil. Um, yeah, and then you took a picture of it with my shitty phone, and then digitalized it. And on Photoshop, in Photoshop, I painted below the line art. So yeah, that's how it was made for the whole game, or most of it. Just paint something into a sketchbook, bring it to Photoshop, and paint underneath. I'm gonna probably, include somewhere here, like just showing the layers of one of the items that's in the game. So anyway, that's what I figured is going to be the style. Yeah, and that's it for finding the art style. And at this point, when when I like when you find the fun in something, and it's just I'm going into a full philosophical tangent here right now. So brace yourself. What's happening here? Oh yeah, sometimes I project through the whole model and then it messes it up. But anyway, yeah, so philosophical tangent about stuff. Yeah, so lately I've been focusing more and more on, just follow what you enjoy to do or what I enjoy to do, instead of focusing on the outcome or whatever. So, and the problem with that can be, you just become addicted and you don't take enough breaks. So you either, give yourself a break, or your body and soul will just break on its own. So yeah, luckily this time with Captain Calculator, I didn't make this mistake because I already did it in my previous project, like getting too addicted onto something, and you just think about it day and night, and just wanna clicky, painty, just do it all the time, and then your eyesight starts going to shit, and then you lose contact with all your friends, your family. You just slowly fade away and die without anybody to care. So it's not good. We want to avoid that. And if it goes black again, what the fuck? And if you get lost too much in enjoyment, in addiction towards like your own project, that's a possibility there. But this time it didn't happen. I just enjoyed the fuck out of the whole project from start to finish. And to be honest, I have no idea what to talk about now. I don't even know why I kept this video 40 minutes long. Nobody can talk about stuff for 40 minutes. But, well, not really, because in my previous video I talked about painting for 2 hours. So, yeah, whatever. Let's just see what happens here. Yeah, and I decided to make a promotional video for the game, and because I had some people followed me in ArtStation, I figured I will make a 3D art to hype the game a little bit, and just make an illustration, turn it into 3D, and I can post it on ArtStation and make people aware of the fact that I made a game, and also I was really looking forward to finally, do some 3D art, which I kind of know how to do. Here I'm just putting some brushstrokes, random brushstrokes down into a new texture, and it's like going to be a brushstroke library basically, and then I'm going to use this on the left hand as an alpha mask on the second UV. So here I'm adding the face for the first diffuse channel, on first map, or on the first channel, and I added the alpha mask onto the second UV channel. And as you can see, I'm using the secondary UV channel here to use the mask from that. And so the second UV is for the alpha and the first UV is for the diffuse. So I can move the first UV around and get the color, and I can move the second UV around to get what kind of brush stroke I want to have. So that's it. It's fun. Yeah, and as you can see, I just place that brush stroke onto the model and use an instance of it. So it's really easy to modify. Like here, I'm gonna add a little bit of bend and some, some vertices and stuff like that to make it twist. I hope I'm not going to throw up during the making of this video, but be prepared for everything. Just random shit, talking about whatever. Throwing up is definitely included in random, so yeah, so that's the basics of it. Here, just putting the brushstrokes around, and I'm gonna use the other brushstrokes on that quote brushstroke library around in a second here. So yeah, I decided to make a trailer, which you can check. Whatever, I will leave a link or something here. Which was made in After Effects. Yeah, this is here is 3ds Max, and where I painted it is 3D Code, and where I painted the whole assets for the game is Photoshop. So just that we are clear on that. And then I decided to make a nice trailer, which included all kinds of different, aspects of the game, the story, because there is a story, from, beginning to end, just trying to show it in a 1-minute video. And it was 1 minute because I wanted to use it on Instagram as well, which is a complete disaster. But, it's time to learn marketing, because at this point the game does not sell at all, but it didn't have it don't have enough exposure, so I need to figure a way out to make that happen. But anyway, the goal with this project was never to be a millionaire. It was just that I publish a game onto the App Store, and you can, download it onto your phone. That was the whole game. I made a document when I started the project, and I started listing out all the things I wanted to achieve with this game. I wanted to make, something that's educational, that's fun, and, entertains and educates the player at the same time. And that's pretty much what I wanted to do. And I just wanted to release it onto the App Store so people can ignore it. Succeeded, if you ask me. And here I'm putting the very well cut out, not hacky at all, brushstrokes and effects around the model, because I wanted to make it look good from multiple angles. Because sometimes, it can be a bit of problem for me when I ignore some angles of the model, and just focus on the one of the angles too much. I would just wanted to, skip that for here. Uh, yeah, maybe I will just silently leave the rest of the video, not talk about anything at all. Uh, just gonna drink my water here. Yeah, don't know. Uh huh. Yeah, I really was just figuring out that I could use a black brushstroke to mask out parts of the model from the front view, and that could look fun. So that's what I experimented with in this 3D project. Because honestly, other parts of it was not that groundbreaking. I already did this 3D painting thing a lot, and even the fading in of the 3D model in the trailer was that something that I already used in the project that is called Ghost. But you know, I experimented a lot during the making of the game, and in the video, I felt like uh, I didn't have enough juice left to come up with some crazy fading for the model. So I just used something that I already did, just to balance stuff out. Yes, here I use select color range. I think it's inside select and color range, and you can. I just pick black, and then adjust the slider, so that way I can quickly make an alpha mask for the three for the cutout shapes that I have there on the texture. Yep. So just quickly added a new brushstroke, and then just placing it. It's kind of tedious, but to be honest, by this time my brain was totally fried. I didn't have any creative juices left. I wasted it all on the project. Yeah, it took me 6 months to finish the game from start to finish. I started in October and finished in March. And I had to wrestle with the fucking app stores. Oh my god. I seriously considered jumping out the window. Oh my god. I used my sister's computer to publish it on iOS because, of course, you are required to have iOS devices to publish, for the App Store. But, I made that happen. It was a struggle, a pain, some might say a torture, but I did it. I did it for you guys, so you can play on your iPhone. And at this time, for some people, if they buy the game on iPhone, they don't receive the thing that they paid for, which is fucking awesome. Because I have zero idea on how to troubleshoot it, because the App Store already accepted it and it works on my side, but for some people it doesn't work, and I have no idea how to fix it. So that's what happens when you're not a programmer and you start to make a game. Weird shit start to break, and you have zero idea how to fix it because you don't have experience. But anyway, talking about zero experience, this game got fat as fuck. Originally, it started out like, oh, I'm gonna just do this just games, gonna do it's 2 months, I'm gonna just just fucking quick. It's gonna be out there, do gazillions of downloads, and I'm off to the Bahamas, sucking my own dick, you know? But no, it doesn't happen that way. Because I went crazy. I lost my fucking mind. I was like, okay, let's turn this game into, what if, this game will be available in 4 languages. Oh, and what if I make a promotional, comic for it at the beginning, which nobody will watch? And then I could make a trailer, and then I could make a 3D art, and then and all kinds of crazy shit started happening one after the other. And after 4 or 5 months, I was like having a full fucking trailer with the 3D art, and everything was dancing and singing. And I was like, what? How did this happen? But anyway, I decided to make this game available in Chinese, Spanish, English, Hungarian, and Russian. So, which is a great idea because it costs shit tons of money. So not only I invested a lot of time in this game, I also invested money in it to make it available for more languages. Which basically at this point, at this hour, in May the 6th, was completely a shit idea. But who knows what will happen in the future. But I decided to do it, and I contacted the localization agency, and we made the game localized, which have to write the code for it and everything, as it turns out. So everything in the game is like connected to a big Word document where I have a lot of words. Surprise. You wouldn't expect that, right? Anyway, so yeah, with a lot of words, and you can play it in different languages, which was a fun process, just learning how to work back and forth with the actual professional company who specializes in localization. And here it's the part where I add asymmetry. It's really important. Just fuck the whole model up, turn it into, just shape it like it's clay. Oh yeah, so the other parts of the project is music, for example, which I collaborated with Erdős Béla. I was taking a pause there because he told me that he uses his name in the Hungarian way, because in Hungary we have the names reversed. So my name is Miki Benz, but in Hungarian it's Benz Miki, So the family name comes first in Hungarian. And Béla told me that he uses his family, so he uses the Hungarian format. I don't know why I'm telling you this. You don't give a fuck, but whatever. So he made the music. We did a collaboration, and I think he did an amazing job. I really like the music and the way he, did it, and I think it fits well with the visual style and the Captain Calculator in general. So yeah, I will leave a link to his work in the description for anybody who is interested. And here I'm just pushing the outer silhouette of the jaw to make it more like the concept, and adding some drips and stuff like that. So yeah, that was the music. That was also an interesting experience, like collaborating with somebody, to telling them how what I really like to see in the music, give some crazy references and stuff like that. Yeah, and then the translation happened, the music happened, and the project started to take shape in its final form. I wrestled a lot with the app stores back and forth to make it available for download and stuff like that. And I decided to launch the game in China, which is what I'm working on at the moment, to make it available in China, but of course there are again gazillion rules and stuff like that you need to fill out and whatever to make it releasable there. But I'm rock solid. I will see this project through. It will be published, I know. But anyway, the video is coming to an end. I feel like I want to do some kind of conclusion or takeaway. I think if you want to do a game or you want to do a project, just jump right in. Start doing it. Don't give a fuck about what's going to happen. Just go with the flow, follow the fun, and that's it. Google has all the answers. You can break down a big problem into small problems, which is, easily solvable. Because I cannot Google how you make a Captain Calculator game on Unity. No, there will be no answer that's coming up for that. You need to break it down. How do you spawn an enemy? How do you create random math problems? And if there is no answer, you can break it down into even smaller parts. And this is exactly how I did it. And I really hope you guys, maybe somebody gets inspired that, this crazy fuck made the game with zero experience. Maybe I can start a religion. Or I can start building a car. Or whatever is that you want to pursue or enjoy. I hope this is kind of, inspiring or whatever, motivating for you. And at the same time, if you're a 3D artist and looking at this video, I'm really sorry that I didn't say anything fucking useful at all because I was talking about random shit. I'm not even sure what this video is for, who this video is for, but whatever. Whoever enjoys. So yeah, I think it was a fun project. Project-wise, I think I did it correctly. I followed the fun until it ran out. I felt like, okay, this is the point where I don't give a fuck about this project anymore. Let's move on to something else and, just cut the loose ends, publish it, and move on to the next one, which I'm working on right now. Oh my god, what's going to be? But in general, this was a project that I made to fuck up, just to focus on making mistakes, learning how to do this badly in order to, conquer and do bigger projects. And this is, how I feel me, how I should approach anything and how I did in the past. Just, start with small and then work my way up towards bigger projects. Because, I couldn't make anything in 3D based on my own illustration for years and years. But with small steps, I got there, and now everybody can, enjoy the chaotic shitstorm that is my illustration and art. So, thank you for watching and listening. I don't know, probably we'll make more videos like this where I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, just, randomly come up with stuff. And I do hope that you check out the game, maybe, buy it to support me, buy some beers, whatever. See you in the next video. Bye.